Alright, now I'm going to do number 11, and it is negative 2 squared times negative 2 minus x to the 0 times 3 minus 2 equals negative 2 times x plus 3. Okay, so exponents first, 2 squared. Now we can cover that up. So that means that it's 2 times 2 is 4, and then you put the negative on. You don't do negative 2 times negative 2. If it was negative 2 in parentheses squared, then you'd have to do negative 2 times negative 2, but this is not. Alright, so that means it's negative 4 times negative 2 minus x, and this is x to 0 will be 1, so minus 1 times 3 minus 2 equals negative 2 times x plus 3. We're just copying all that down because there's no exponents in there. Alright, next we're going to do parentheses, so we're going to multiply here. 2 times 4 is 8, and that will be positive 8. And then 4 times x will be 4x, and that will be positive 4x. Negative 1 times 3 will be negative 3. Negative times negative makes a positive, so positive 2. Now it would be negative 2x. And then here would be negative 2 times 3 is 6, and that would be negative 6. Alright, next step is to combine like terms, and the like terms we have are here, here, and here. So 8 minus 3 plus 2. Well, 8 plus 2 is 10, minus 3 would be 7. So we've got 7 plus 4x equals negative 2x minus 6. Now normally the way I would do this would be plus 2x to get your x's on the same side. But I'm going to do the way the book says. The book says when you change sides, you change signs. So we're doing the exact same thing, we're just doing it a little bit differently. So I'm going to cross out this negative 2x, and I'm going to move it over to this side of the equation. But to do that, I have to change its sign. So it's a negative 2x, I'm going to make it a positive 2x. Now we can combine like terms again. So now we've got 2x and 4x, and that's going to make 6x plus 7 equals negative 6. Okay, now I am going to get my constants on the same side, so to move this to the other side of the equation, this positive 7, I'm going to have to make it be negative 7, so that gets rid of that. Alright, so now I have like terms right here, and I can combine those, and I get 6x equals 6 plus 7 is negative 13. And now I just have to divide by 6 on both sides, and that is the answer. X equals negative 13 over 6. There's our answer. Alright, I'm going to try the next one here, number 12. This one's not as hard. This one is 3.5 x plus 2 1/4 equals negative 1/8. Okay, so the first thing I have to do, we don't have any exponents, we don't have any parentheses. We're just going to try to get our x's, and we only have one x, so what we have to do first is get rid of this plus 2 1/4. So we're going to do minus 2 1/4. And I'm going to do change side, change signs. So I'm going to put that over here. It's 2 1/4. But really, 1/4 is the same thing as 2/8. That makes this easier. So, and these are both negative, so we're going to add them. 2 2/8 plus 1/8 would be 2 3/8, and it's still negative. And then on this side we have 3 1/2 x. Now, this means 3.5 times x, so we're going to have to do divided by x. And the way we do that with fractions is first we're going to turn this into an improper fraction. So 3 times 2 is 6, 7, so that will be 7 over 2x equals 2 times 8 is 16, 17, 18, 19 over 8, and that's negative. Now, to get rid of this, we flip and multiply. Times 2 over 7 times 2 over 7. These cancel, and we have x equals, now we just have to multiply right here we can cancel. 19 on the top and then 7 times 4 is 28, and that's the answer. X equals 19 over 28. Oop, it's negative 19 over 28. So we have a negative right here. Alright, we'll try one more. This one looks confusing, but it's not really. This is number 13. This is 1/2 times 6 minus 8x plus 3/4 times 8x minus 12 equals 4x plus 6. Okay, on this one, it looks confusing because we've got this fraction right here, and we have to rainbow that first to the 6. So that's really 1/2 times 6, and we write 6 as 6 over 1. That's pretty easy. That just means what's 1/2 of 6, which is 3. These cancel, and you get 3 over 1, which is just 3. So this first rainbow right here is 3. And then we're going to rainbow it again. 1/2 of 8, negative 8x. So 1/2 times negative 8 over 1, and that's x. And right here we would do 1, and here we would do 4, and we get negative 4 over 1x, which is the same thing as negative 4x. So negative 4x. So really what we're saying is what's 1/2 of 8? Because remember, of means times. Alright, now right here we have 3/4 of 8. So 3 over 4 times 8 over 1. These are going to cancel. And we're going to say 1 and 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Now it's really the same thing as saying 3 times 8 is 24, divided by 4 is 6. So it's going to be plus 6x. And then right here, 3/4 of 12. Well, if we say 4 divided by 12, we're going to get 3, and then 3 times 3 is 9. Let's do it this way to make sure. 3/4 times negative 12 over 1. So right here we would say that these cancel, and you get 1, and you get 3, and that will be 3 times 3 is 9. Alright, so we've got negative 9 for that. The rest of this just copies down. 4x plus 6. Alright, now we got to combine like terms. So we got 6 minus 4 will be 2x, and then we have these like terms, 3 and negative 9, so that would be negative 6 equals 4x plus 6. Alright, and now we're going to do change sides, change signs. So we're going to say this is positive 2x. We're going to add a negative 2x on this side. And now we've got those two, and we're going to have negative 6x equals 4 minus 2 will be 2x plus 6. Now we're going to change sides for this one. So plus 6, we're going to do minus 6. And now we have like terms here. Negative and negative 6 and negative 6 will be negative 12 equals 2x. Now we're just going to divide by 2. And 12 over 2 would be 6, so x equals negative 6. Alright. Hopefully the change sides, change signs is making sense to you. You can always just do it the old way if that seems less confusing. Whatever confuses you the least. And then the change sides, you're just doing that to like save room on your paper. It's less steps. You're doing the same steps, just in a different way. Alright, this is number 14. Negative 3 minus 3 to the 0 minus 3 squared times 2x minus 5 minus negative 2x minus 3 equals negative x to the 0 times x minus 3. That's a long one. Alright, so I'm going to start by our exponent, so negative 3, and then 3 to the 0 would just be 1, so minus 1. 3 squared, 3 times 3 is 9, so minus 9. 2x minus 5 minus negative 2x minus 3 equals, and then that would just be 1, x to the 0, so minus 1 times x minus 3. Alright, so now we're going to rainbow, and so we're going to start by just bringing this down, negative 3, negative 1. Now we got to rainbow this negative 9 and 2. So 9 times 2 is 18, and that would be negative 18x. And then right here, 9 times 5 is 45, and that would be positive 45, because negative times negative. Then we're going to rainbow this negative sign, so that's just changing the signs in there, because it's like negative 1. So that would be plus 2x. And then right here, it's just changing that sign to plus 3. And then here, negative 1 times x would be negative x. And then that'll just change that to plus 3. Alright, now I got a lot of like terms we can put together. So let's go with negative 3, negative 1, positive 45, positive 3. Put all those together first. So I'm going to add up my positives first. Actually, we can do negative 3 and positive 3 cancel each other. And then we're left with 45 minus 1, which would be 44. Okay, and then we have this negative 18x and positive 2x. 18 and 2, that would be negative 16x. Alright, so that took care of everything on that side. Equals negative x plus 3. Alright, I'm going to do this the old way. So plus x, that really just means plus 1. And we're going to get 44 minus 15x equals 3. And then we're just going to minus 44. And we're going to get negative 15x equals negative 47. No, wait, that's positive. Plus 3, positive 3. So that will be 41. Now I just divide by negative 15. And that's our answer. These negatives cancel each other, so the answer is 41 over 15. Hopefully that made sense to everyone. Now it's back to the old way. Alright. Just a couple more. Number 15. That one's negative 2 to the third minus 1 over negative 2 to the negative squared times x plus 2 minus 3x equals negative 2 to the 0 times negative 2x to the 0 minus 4. Okay, on this one, we got some confusing notations here we're going to have to deal with. So exponents first. 2 to the third, that means 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8. So we've got negative 8. Remember, we put the negative on after. Alright, now this one, to get rid of that exponent, 1 over negative 2 to the negative 2, to get rid of that negative, we have to get rid of that 1. So we move it to the other side of the fraction. So we would end up with negative 2 squared. Okay, negative 2 squared, negative 2 times 2 is 4. That would leave us with negative 4. So minus negative 4. Do you see how I did that? So the negative 4 is all of this. It's negative 4. But we still have this negative. We've got to make sure that we have both of them. So minus negative 4 times x plus 2. And now our minus 3x equals 2 to the 0 will be 1. And then x to the 0 will be 1, so that just means we get rid of it. Minus 2, minus 4. Okay? Now we're going to simplify this by negative times a negative. These two cancel each other out, and that's just plus. And we're going to start doing our parentheses, so that part. Alright, so negative 8, and then we got 4 times x would be plus 4x. And then 4 times 2 would be plus 8 minus 3x equals negative times negative makes a positive 2, and then negative times a negative here would make a positive 4. Okay, so now we're going to combine like terms, On this side, we've got negative 8 and positive 8. Those just cancel. So we don't have any constants on that side. We do have these x's. Positive 4x minus 3x. That would just leave us with 1x. And 2 plus 4 is 6. So the answer to that one's 6. That one worked out nicely. Alright. And this is the last one. And this one looks confusing because it's got brackets, but it's actually pretty easy. Alright, 16, negative 3, and then our bracket, x minus 2, minus 3 times 2, and then close bracket, plus 2, x minus 3, times x minus 2, and then close that bracket, equals 7 times x minus 5. Okay, on this one, the brackets just mean big parentheses. It's just bigger parentheses that went outside the other parentheses. So all we have to do is take care of these parentheses to get rid of the bracket. Alright, so negative 3, and then I'm just going to put parentheses right here, because once we get rid of these, then these just turn back into regular parentheses. X minus 2, and then we have to rainbow right there. So negative 3 times 2 will be negative 6, and then we can close those parentheses. See how we used up that parentheses right there. Everything else is just the same inside of that. Alright, plus 2, and then we're going to do regular parentheses, x. Okay, and now we have to rainbow here to get rid of these inside parentheses. Negative 3 times x will be negative 3x, and then 3 times 2 is 6, and that will be positive 6, and then we just close our regular parentheses. So this parentheses is that bracket right there, but it's knocked down to a regular size parentheses. And then we can rainbow here, 7x, and here, 7 times 5 is 35. Okay, now we have to rainbow again because we have more parentheses, bigger parentheses. 3 times x, negative 3x. 3 times negative 2 would be positive 6. 3 times 6 is 18. 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 3x would be negative 6x. And then that 2 times 6 is 12. Now we have a whole bunch of like terms to add. Let's find all our constants. Okay, so we've got 6, 18, and 12, and are all positive. So it'll be 10, 20, 36. Okay, now our variables, let's see, we've got 3x and 2x minus 6x. So negative and negative, that's going to be 6, negative 9. Take away positive 2, negative 9 and positive 2 would be negative 7x. Okay, and then we have, alright, so we've used up everything in there. That's going to be 7x minus 35. Alright, now we're going to try to get our variables on the same side, so get our x's together. So I'm going to do change side, change signs. And I'm going to move these over here. I like to have positive variables, so plus 7x. So I just did the opposite of that. So I can put these two together and I'll get 36 equals 7 plus 7 is 14x minus 35. Okay, and now I need to do the opposite of that on this side. I'm going to change side, change sign. So I'm going to do plus 35. So 35 plus 36 is going to be 71. And now all I have to do is divide by 14. And our answer is x equals 71 over 14. So those big brackets just mean bigger parentheses. They're there because they have other parentheses inside them. Once you deal with the stuff that's inside the smaller parentheses, once you get rid of those, then these can just be downgraded to regular size parentheses. Alright, and that was all those. So if you have any questions, just send me a message. Alright, thanks and bye. And there'll be another video for your next lesson.